Hi, my name is Nat and I write on ozchick.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make a set of napkins using a rolled hem on your serger. I find these are a great thing to do for last minute gifts because they're super quick, super easy, and as long as you have a serger, it's just such an easy thing to do. So what you do is you take a piece of you start with some quilting cotton, and I like to use the premium quilting cotton, but you can use anything. You can use any of the ones that they stock at your big box store as well. You can use yardage, you can use fat quarters. This is a great way if you get like one of those things which has like 8 different types of fat quarters in it. You could do like some sort of fun mix and match set. Or if you just have some yardage and you can just cut it up into fat quarters, and then you've got your napkins ready to go. Now, what a fat quarter is, it is a half yard cut in half again. So it's like that quarter of the square quadrant. Now, you can make them smaller than a fat quarter too if you're trying to conserve fabric. These ones I actually did do smaller mainly because I just wasn't thinking straight when I did it. But anyway, I've used my rotary cutter and cutting mat and rulers to make a square. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be using my Juki serger. I have a 654DE. I really like this serger a lot. It's very easy to use. It does not have air thread, but that's not a huge deal to me. And you also have to adjust the tensions yourself. But again, it's really not that difficult. What you'll first need to do is, if you've got the Juki, you set your lower looper to a 9. And you'll set your, you'll set your lower looper to a 9 and your upper looper to a 4. And actually that's one way to, if you're having a mental block and you can't remember which is which, all you need to do is you look inside your machine and you'll see you've got your upper looper. You've got your upper looper. You can get this thing going around. Your upper looper is at the top here, and your lower looper, you cannot see it just this minute. You'll see that comes underneath it. I don't know if you can see that there. Anyway. The one that's below is your lower, and the one that's above is your upper. So, I'm going to just set this thing here. Okay, so you've got your lower on the 9, your upper on the 4. Double check that again. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm screwing up. And then what the Juki has, which I absolutely love this feature because not all of your cheaper machines don't usually have this. You have your stitch finger here. Oh, this thing is so tricky to navigate. Okay, your stitch finger is here, and it's just this knob, and all you do is that's turning it on. That's turning it off. Some of the other ones you have to like change your sole plates and add in all this extra stuff, and this one is so easy. It's just a button. So I love that. So doing rolled hems is super easy. The other thing that I've done is I've changed my just swing over here. I have changed my stitch length to a 1, and I've changed I'm going to keep that differential feed on neutral. And yeah, that's all you need to do. So the other thing we've done here is I've taken out one of my needles. I've only got the right needle in. I've removed that needle. If you keep your needle in and you are not using it, you're going to run into problems. You're going to mess up your machine. So make sure if you're only using one needle and one thread with one thread in your needles, that you take out the needle that you're not using. So all we have to do, that is awkward angle to make sure I can catch it on the video. So I'm going to start by lining that up with here. Okay, so we're going to go. Now, as I get toward that end, I'm sort of slowing down, and I'm going to use my knob here on the side to just turn that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm right at the very edge now. I'm just going to go one more time. So now I've got my needle all the way up. I'm going to take my presser foot up, and then I'm going to just gently tug that to just take it away from there, and I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to make sure when I drop my, sorry, I'm going to block your view. I'm going to drop my presser foot back down here, and I can just adjust by moving that around. And then what I want to make sure is that my needle goes straight back in here. So I've got my needle right, it's really, yeah, I'm sorry. You'll just have to take my word for it. It's a little too hard to zoom. So I've got my needle right in where my stitching just finished. And then I'm going to start sewing again. Okay, now we're at the end. We've just met up with our starting point. Now we're not going to pull it out just yet. I've got right to the very end. I've got my needle right up again. I'm going to pull up my presser foot. I'm going to tug out here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn my fabric over. Okay, so now it's upside down, and I'm going to put my presser foot back down. My needle's going to go back in, just sort of over the corner a bit. And what we're going to do is we're just going to stitch over the corner, and that is going to lock everything in place. Okay, and then, well, then you can just stitch off. Now, one thing you can do, this is a trick that I generally do when I'm serging, as I just keep serging, and then I just bring my thread around to the front, and then I just let the cutter cut it off. And you can also, the other thing I do is I keep thread snips handy. So, depends on what mood I'm in as to which method I'll use. So I'll show you how that works. Okay, so we just bring this across, and it's off. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this here, and then if you really want to, you can get a little bit of fray check over here. You can get some fray check, and you can just put that on here, and that will keep everything secure. So let's just see if that works here. There. And then we've got a napkin set. So, yeah, I've done these as gifts for weddings before. Like, my husband does woodworking, and so he will do, like, a chopping board, and then I'll do a set of napkins, and so that makes a nice gift for people. So, and then I've done them for myself as well. Like, we mostly use cloth napkins these days. I've hardly had to buy. Since switching to cloth napkins, I don't even know when the last time I bought paper napkins was. We don't go through them much at all. So yeah, these are really great to have on hand, and they hold up really well in the wash too. Oh, and I have a visitor. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Talk to you next time.